I want to start with Caleb Williams, and of course what he did today. So Vicky, I'll start with you. From everything we heard, from everything we've seen, I know we kind of do this thing with Caleb Williams where we kind of report on a daily basis. There's like a little meter, and of course he's a rookie, so there's gonna be ups and downs. I kind of have my take on today. I want to hear yours first and foremost before we kind of get into the details.
Yeah, like if it's, let's say we're scoring out of 10, right? Today's maybe a 6. It's not concerning, but he had up and down, right? You saw the typical Caleb where you hear the comments about like tight throws into windows, especially to DJ Moore. He seems to be getting a lot of targets, which is nice to see that there's still that kind of connection. But there was also the interception, which Flus brought up, right, where he double hitched and was just a little bit late on it, and then Kevin Byard, veteran, picked him off. But mistakes are going to happen. He's going to throw interceptions when the season comes. He's going to throw interceptions now. And we talked about it last episode. If there's a time for him to throw interceptions, it should be in June, right? So, and it wasn't like the man threw like tons of interceptions. It wasn't like there was a bunch of balls on the ground. You know what I mean? Like just bad passes. Yeah. I think he actually completed like 13 out of 15. But the reports, again, we weren't there, but the reports are saying that it was kind of up and down. It wasn't like amazing, but it wasn't like garbage. So because of that, 6 or 7. But again, I'm not getting too high or too low on all of this. And also, this is the first time some of the veterans are back. So you talk about learning he's learning a new offense. He's only been working really with the rookies, right? And sprinkle in a couple vets here and there, like Gerald Everett. But now here comes Keenan Allen, right? This is his first practice with Caleb Williams. And even Keenan talked about in his presser, he was like, hey, look, it's going to take some time to build this chemistry, which makes sense because you just got there. So all of that is to say that it's still very early in the process. So I'm not surprised that you hear of an interception or a bad pass here and there. But I think overall, people still have like high expectations. Like I think even with the bad practice, people are walking away like, no, Caleb is still that guy. Like Caleb is still leading this offense. There's still positives within that. But like, how are you feeling after, kind of a okay to good type of day?
No, I mean, if we're rating out of 10, I mean, I feel like an 8. I feel like an 8. I almost want to give him a 9. I feel like exactly where he needs to be. You talked about, I think last week, about his footwork improving. Eberflus kind of mentioned that offhand. And then today, I mean, you heard some of the guys talk about him. I mean, they love him. Cole Kmet, honestly, he still talks about how shocked he was, how he got such a bad rap in the media, prior to being drafted and all of that chaos. Cause he's totally different. He's competitive. One of my favorite quotes came from Flus today about, they talked about how the team is ready to win now on a lot of different areas of the roster. The defense, especially, they are chippy, they're fiery, they are hungry. And then on top of that, you have a quarterback who's a rookie who's going to have growing pains. And so I forgot who asked the question in the media, but he said essentially, how do you manage that expectations? How do you keep, a rookie quarterback in line with the rest of the roster's goals, which is to win now? So for me, his answer, I think I have a full quote here somewhere, but I'll kind of paraphrase. He essentially said that it's a good thing our quarterback, Caleb, is competitive as hell. He also has, desired work ethic. And he just said that he's going to be slinging it down the field. He's not worried. And Matt Eberflus, and I know I'm paraphrasing there, but that's pretty much what he said. And that just kind of calmed me. And I think I have a confidence heading into just this offseason, Bears minicamp. I'm confident. Like, I'm not projecting Caleb because I feel like he really has the ability to go out there and just perform. And I understand there's going to be, rough practices. Another thing with Cole Kmet, one of my favorite interviews today, but he talked about how he kind of joked because the media was, asked him again, hey, the defense is winning most plays. They've been winning practices. And he kind of pushed back a little bit and said, hey, I don't know. That's not what I'm seeing. I know you guys only hear once a week, how you alluded to earlier, Vicky, but he pushed back. He believes that the offense has won a couple days. And so for me, I like to hear that as well because we haven't been there. We have not been there every single day. This is the first week where you're going to get eyes on everything. So you're going to get today where it was a we'll get more in the nitty gritty, but I would say 50-50. Defense won some, offense won some. There was just no pads, of course, but for me, this is a day that I'm fine with. Like, sure, it wasn't like last week on Friday where it was kind of a
perfect day,
a mirage though, because you don't got the starters. But today, Caleb didn't get eaten up like he did 2 weeks ago when the veterans and everyone was there. And Montez Sweat, I know he was limited, but for me to hear that Caleb made plays, he also had a pick, like you said, from a veteran all pro safety. He's gonna get the rookie a couple times. Like, that's expected. So for me, overall, I'm like at a 9, and it's probably a little too high, but I just have confidence in this team. And a lot of things I heard, not just in Caleb, but like Austin Booker, you got Jervon Dexter, super exciting. So, Vicky, I think a 6 is fair because like it is freaking June.
Yeah, no, I don't think there's a wrong answer unless you're just like so far one way or the other, right? And so all of that, I totally agree with. Like, there hasn't been enough reports provided that make you like super sour about this team. Maybe are we a little too excited? Yes, but so is every fan base about their teams about right now. You know what I mean? Because people are excited for football. But there was 2 things that also came out from today when it came to the presser, which goes back to Caleb and not necessarily his physical play, but his mental, right? And it's funny because we just went through a whole offseason of people talking about this kid's a diva, right? Or, this kid is, because he's a diva, maybe he's not going to show up every day and things like that. Well, we had people talk about, Keenan Allen talked about how he's humble, right? I'm pretty sure Cole Kmet, who's, I kind of view like Cole Kmet as his mentor because he talks about him unprovoked and backs him up all the time. And he also, going into the competitor part, did the Top Golf story where they went to Top Golf and there was they split teams up, basically like Caleb's team and Cole's team. And basically it got to like near the end of Top Golf, so probably like midnight or so. And Caleb wanted to keep going to finish the game. And so basically they ended up staying there till 1 a.m., which is wild. And Cole's like, bro, we gotta go home. Cole won it, but it's just funny that you saw that competitive edge in Caleb, which we've heard all throughout since he's been on this team, right? But another key piece is that Keenan said he was humble. Cole said he's down to earth. And Flus said he's a learner, comes in with a beginner's mindset, not coming in like he knows everything, but just coming in and being like, okay, I know there's so much that I can take in and it's going to help improve me. So hearing that from multiple sources being asked in different ways goes to like what you said, that confidence about this team. And it starts with the quarterback. I have confidence in this quarterback until he goes on the field and makes me think otherwise. But he's got the mental, and obviously he's got the physicals because we've been watching tape and we've seen the crazy things that this kid can do. And the Bears posted right before we hopped on, posted that video where I think you said on Twitter, like something like Mahomes or Mahomes like, where he does that little jump pass. I think it was like Chicago Bears called it jump man. But like seeing stuff like that, you're like, how can you not get excited? So having the physical and then also having the mentals, I don't know how you can't be high on this team right now. And of course, he's a rookie. Mistakes will come, but it's just exciting. Well, look at that.
Yeah. I think this is the clip you're talking about here.
Absolutely. I know, no pads. It's, take it as it is, but still that's cool to see. I don't think we've seen a quarterback do that at least in practice. Fields had to play like that, which was fire when he did a rollout last year. Kind of got to it was in the 5-yard line. He rolled out, kind of like did a pump fake and jumped and tossed it over for like 2 feet to Cole Kmet. So hopefully we see more like, that creativity from Caleb Williams, which I think we will.
No, I think it's it was a fun one. It was either Mahomes or Tebow is what I was going to go with, and of course for to get that Twitter money, you gotta throw in Mahomes. No, I really do see I think as far as Mahomes go in that comparison, I see Rodgers. I've mentioned that before, but you do see it. I mean, Poles had a really good interview with Adam Schefter, which I'm not going to touch on too much. Go read it. Definitely encourage. Oh, it was a podcast, right?
Podcast, yeah, his podcast. Yeah.
Go take a look at that. Give it a listen. But it was interesting to see why he moved off of Justin. And real short and sweet was basically Justin was a guy you could win with, and then Caleb was a guy you could win because of. And he also mentioned about the creativity factor, and he was in Kansas City, and he does understand, some similarities between these two players and Caleb Williams and Patrick Mahomes.